Hey gang, the Sewing Wench here with a couple of quick tips on sewing with vinyl. Decided to do this because today I was sewing vinyl corsets and remembered why I don't do it very often. Vinyl can be very difficult to work with. It can be very tricky. One of the things that's really tricky with vinyl is that it doesn't heal like fabric does. So if you stick a pin in it, it's going to leave a hole permanently. So here you can see, it actually shows up really well on the camera there. But it leaves that hole permanently, so you can't pin your pieces of fabric together. So rather than just trying to hand pin, because vinyl can be very slick, especially when you're dealing with wet look vinyl like this. My favorite trick is to use either clothespins or binder clips. So you can use a binder clip and just clip your fabric together like that. Or again, clothespins tends to be what I use because I have a lot of those floating around the house. And that will hold your vinyl in place so that you can do your stitching. Now, another quick tip for you while you're stitching, there are actually special feet designed for sewing with vinyl. Usually they're Teflon lined feet. My machine also came with two temporary little stickers to put on the bottom of the feet. Unfortunately, I'm out of those. So the solution that I used in the past and that I've used today is to put a piece of tape on the bottom of your foot. I use just box tape here, but you can use Scotch tape as well. Anything that's going to be really smooth. You're just going to cut it so that it fits just on the edge of the foot. So, just like that. And I snip around it here. And I cover the whole foot. This just gives a little bit of a slick material to slide over that vinyl. Otherwise, the vinyl will catch on the foot. And when it catches, it just doesn't sew very smoothly, and you end up with lumps and a headache. So the other thing that I've had very limited success with, but I have done, is to do the same thing, putting tape on the bottom of a walker foot. Pull that out for you real quick here. This is a walker foot or a walking foot. What it does is it actually grabs as it sews. So you have like feed dogs on the top and feed dogs on the bottom. Again, I have used this in the past. It works better on different types of vinyl. Definitely play with it, which is always a smart thing to do when you're working with a new material. Wet look vinyl like this does not react the same way as a flat vinyl. This is also an upholstery grade vinyl, whereas this is meant for clothing. It has a little bit of stretch to it, which can also be its own little problem. It acts a little bit like a stretch, whereas this upholstery grade, you see it doesn't have as much stretch at all, and it's a lot easier to work with, honestly. Wet look just has that very sexy look that I'm going for a certain costume. So that is my two quick tips for working with vinyl. Mostly with vinyl, it just takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of getting used to. Again, it's something that I don't work with very often because it is very difficult. not for your quick sewing projects, definitely. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you have any more tips, any other tips that I haven't mentioned here, go ahead and mention them. We'll give them a try, and I'll give a shout out to the ones that work best for me as well. So once again, I am the Sewing Wench. You can follow me on Facebook at Milady's Couturier, or on Twitter or Instagram, the Sewing Wench and Milady France. And we'll see you next time, guys.